breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired of yesterday.
3, 2, 1.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Friday Night Live. Tonight, I am talking about a really cool launch that I did with Amanda Holmes, who is absolutely amazing, fantastic. And you probably know of her dad, Chet Holmes, who wrote the book, The Ultimate Sales Machine, which has been voted time and time and time again in the top 10 best marketing books of all time. Absolutely incredible. So that's Amanda Holmes, her new launch for the Ultimate Sales Machine. And I just got it in the mail too. I'm super pumped to read it. But I helped her with her launch, and we had to create a video, right? So she wanted a video that was going to push this out into the world, reignite interest in Chet Holmes and all of the wonderful things he did and his legacy, and then position her now as the leader of Chet Holmes International. And then also make people like her too, because everyone knew Chet and Chet had a daughter, but now she's taking the helm. It's fragile. Okay. So the launch had to be done in a certain way to get eyeballs, but to not be disingenuous to his legacy, his fans. It had to be heartfelt. It had to really come from the depths of her heart. So what she decided is, I guess a friend of hers reached out to her and said, why don't you write a letter to your dad about writing the new edition of the book? And that's a lot, right? I mean, that's your dad. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, Chet Holmes passed away several years ago. And she has now reignited this book to be the new edition, up to date. So, you know, like back in the day, it was lumpy mail as an example. And, you know, what's the new current version of like lumpy mail? Another example would be, instead of like mailers or direct mail, now it's email, that kind of stuff. And she's updated it all. Hey, what's going on, Sanika? Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. So she had this massive mountain to ascend with launching this book, because like I said, she doesn't want it to be like, I'm just re-releasing the same book. I'm just, you know, kind of rehashing the same old thing. She literally went through it and combed through it word by word and said, I want to make sure this is up to date for the current times. And so it is a different book. It's still his wording in there. And she's even denoted like what was him and then what was kept and what was hers, which I love that she did that. But it is her variation of the book. It truly is. And I'm just so happy for her. But so if you were tasked with this job of, we need to make a video that is going to serve all these purposes, bring back Chet Holmes' legacy, get people reignited with Ultimate Sales Machine, get sales happening, get people interested into the boot camps that are happening. And also now there's Amanda Holmes at the forefront. And she's absolutely incredible. Like, if you guys don't know Amanda, get to know Amanda immediately. She is amazing in her own right, separate from Chet. She is absolutely incredible. And then she's added in her own thing. So how now do you make a video that serves all those purposes? And that was the task that I had when she approached me. And oh my God, I'm so honored to have worked on this video. Like this is one of the most proud moments I have, is working on this video. And it's called the Dear Dad video. So what she did is, one of her friends told her to write a letter to her dad, essentially talking about, yeah, actually I will give the link here. Let me see where people are asking for it. Here you go. Feel free to join me as always. Love to have you guys on here. Join me for a little discussion if you please. And if not, just enjoy. Because this is something we just got done doing. This is still pretty fresh. And I'd love to give you guys some lessons that I'm learning from it. Because it was super sensitive. So like she finished this amazing, heartfelt, just absolutely incredible letter to her father. And she was like, I want to make this into a video. Whoa, that's a tall order. That's her dad. Like, that's your dad. So like, if you mess this up, that's her dad. It's like, you got to be really careful, tread lightly, and make sure that you honor every bit of it. You treat it all with such respect and being delicate with the whole thing. Because, some of these, pictures we even brought up were ones that are probably pretty emotional for her, right? So that it needed to be a certain touch about it to ensure that she felt comfortable about what was going out in the world, and that it was vulnerable enough and that it was also personal enough to get Chet Holmes people back into her world, right? We got Lefty joining us here. What's going on, man?
Oh my God, I'm still recovering from this cold, but
I am
had
too.
to just jump in and say hello.
Hello, nurse.
I don't have one with me. I'm home alone, but my wife was doing a great job taking care of me, making all those teas and those soups and all that jazz.
That's awesome. I'm glad she's taking care of you. I know that you do the same for her.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I hear you made this awesome video, and I want to hear
It went
more
really
about
well.
it.
Yeah, man. So we made this video for Amanda Holmes called Dear Dad.
Yes.
And I'll show you a little example of it here. Present, share screen. And
we had a project pending as well with her, didn't we?
At some point, probably, yeah. There we go. I think everybody's on here. So this is the Dear Dad video I'm talking about. So this is an ad. She ran this essentially as an ad video. And here, can you guys hear that?
Not really.
No sound coming through?
No.
James Havis, what's going on, my man? Allow. How about now? No sound. All right, well, you can see it at least.
Yeah, fair enough. No, fair enough.
So this video is a bunch of her like old pictures and videos of her growing up. And this is of her writing the letter that she is then speaking. And this video was posted she also posted organically on LinkedIn, Facebook. She posted on YouTube, Instagram, and on TikTok, I believe. She put it into segments, and she did it like all over the place. And this was like a big key part of her launching her book. So even before the book was done, this video was going out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that she did this as part of her launch because it gave her a new it pushed all the buttons that she needed to push. Correct. Which was she needed to reconnect with an old audience of Chet Holmes, let people know there's a new book, and introduce her in a big way of now she's at the forefront of Chet Holmes International. So I will link to this video if you guys want to check it out. But that was the task that I was set with. So I would love to know, how would you have handled it out there? I'd like to know if you guys would have handled it any differently. Because I love differing opinions and I love creatives. And when we get together, what would you have done in that position? How would you have handled it?
In terms of like editing the video?
No, in terms of approach. Like what approach would you have taken for such a video that had to serve those purposes. It has to reignite an audience that has been, it's an older audience, right?
Mhm.
And now you got to introduce it to a new generation. There's a new book and introduce a new person, Amanda Holmes, as the attractive character.
I mean, it seems to me that she did like, a pretty, like she pretty much she did a fantastic job. Like, uh, I obviously haven't been the one to watch the video, but from what I'm seeing, bits and pieces of it here, it's pretty bomb.com, my man. Um, but it seems as if like she uh she hit all the avenues, right? Uh, she pulled on the heartstrings
Yeah.
because there's no point in creating a video if you're not going to be able to suck some emotion out of somebody, right?
Yeah.
I definitely love the narrative approach of like her, like kind of, I guess, yeah, narrating it while she's writing it. That was like
Yeah.
that was
That was a quick add-in that we actually weren't going to have her writing. And then I was like, could you do me a favor? Just video yourself writing it if you wouldn't mind, just so I can use it just in case. It was a just in case thing and it ended up being used. I'm glad it got used.
Yeah. I again, and I haven't seen the whole thing,
Yeah.
but I think what would have been cool is having her do it a few times, like so she's like different days, different time of day, different outfits.
Oh, to like have more of like a time passing.
Yeah, maybe like in different areas too. You know what I mean? Like she had a coffee shop or something. Oh, something sparks her. Boom, she goes to like pull out the notepad to start writing, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like I feel like she has so much to say and give that to write a note like that over the course of an evening, I don't think it does it justice in that sense.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Excellent feedback. I love that.
Yeah.
Mr. Havis, 007 in the house. What is going
Boom,
on,
boom.
man?
Hey guys, how are y'all?
We're doing all right, buddy.
You might hear me cough up a lung from time to time, but I'm doing
Oh,
A-okay, my
man.
man.
I just finally got my meds dialed in. Finally. Feeling better, man. Finally.
So you know what I
Dude.
was told, Jim?
What's that?
I was told, and this is this must be brand new, but they told me that if I am not actually um, sick of any sort of like infection or viral infection or whatever, they actually wait 2 weeks before giving antibiotics.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, last year, because I do suffer from like this annual bronchitis, puts me down for 8 days kind of infection. But last year, when the same thing happened to me, literally walked into a walk-in clinic, and right away it was prescription written. Here you go, like no problem. It didn't matter if I was like 48 hours into my problem. Now they're telling me that it's like, well, if you're not better in 10 days, then we'll actually like prescribe you something. So I thought that was a little strange, but it is what it is.
Get a new doc.
Oh, Canada has a shortage of doctors.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah. For some reason, I feel like I'm delayed today on here.
You are. You have a little delay to yourself there.
Little.
That's all right, though.
Let me jump.
We'll make it. It just makes it like a old karate movie.
Yes.
Very well. You know, we've been sick too. I had COVID. My wife's got the flu right now, and she had bronchitis like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, we're swimming through it ourselves. So y'all are not alone. Thank the Lord we had the good meds to go along with everything, and got over COVID in like 3 or 4 days. So worked out really well. So feeling
Yeah,
much
that's
better.
awesome.
So How's everything going, my friend Jim Beard?
Oh man, I just got over it myself, man. It was one of those coughs that you get to where
Yep.
you feel like you're coughing up something important.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's how my wife
like
feels
I
right
feel
now.
like that
She's
should
like crazy.
probably not leave me. I feel like that's something I need in there. So then I got my meds. I got the antibiotic, so I had to take the 2 pills every day for 3 days, and then, dude, what a difference! What a difference! I am a completely different person than I was just 48 hours ago.
Very good. Yeah.
But now my stepson's got it.
Ouch.
So now he's got the shredding throat and the whole thing going on. So I knew exactly what he needed though. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Our kids had it like in October, late October. Both of them had it. Like my son was down for like 2 weeks. My daughter was down for a week, and then they got over it. And then Renee got sick first, then I got sick, and then she's sick again now. But
it just goes over and over again. It's one of those things.
We're building up immunity. That's what we said.
And I'm saying now, I'm like, oh, Carter's going to give it right back to me. They're just going to daisy chain right off the back of it, you know?
Oh, no.
So now I'm like, oh, man, I gave you your meds. Go to your cage.
My wife was medicating herself exactly the same way I was. When I was taking my NyQuil, she was taking NyQuil. When I was like drinking a certain tea, she was drinking a certain tea.
I mean, you might as well, right?
Just to like whatever. And while I'm home holding down the fort all by my lonesome, she's out having the time of her life at a former NHL's player's Christmas party for his new business.
Oh, well. Oh, I do declare.
We did the same thing with the medicine. When I got COVID, prescribed ivermectin. My wife got ivermectin at the same time because we see the same doc. And that's the way to do it is everybody takes the same medicine, same time, get over it and get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather knock it out now. Like, get it done now before it starts snowing and all that crap.
Oh, yeah.
We already had 5 feet, so.
5 feet.
Yeah, my man. 5 feet. We had such a nasty
5
storm.
feet of snow.
Yeah.
Negative, Ghost Rider. You're not cleared for the flyby.
It was like.
We had
God.
I think we had like an inch that hung around for like 2 hours.
Aren't you lucky? Well, I mean, everything, funny enough, everything melted and is gone now. But this storm.
A likely story.
It's
I'm just
muddy outside. It's really weird. It's honestly really weird. But like, we had about, maybe not 5. I think it was about 4. But nonetheless, did you see that picture of me where like my hair was frozen in snow?
I did see that. That was awesome.
That was me shoveling all that crap because the guy, we have a local farmer who owns like this bobcat, and he would come to all the houses and just plow our driveways and during that time. But this year he decided to say, I'm not about that anymore. I'm not going to do it. So we were screwed. And funny enough, living 30 minutes away from a big city, my wife and I, well, at least I because I'm the bigger one out of the two of us, I opened the fridge and I'm like, well, hey, babe, we don't got no food in the fridge, and I don't know how long this snowstorm is going to last. So we ended up going out there shoveling, took about 2.5 hours, probably more, but 2.5 hours just to give a car width length through. So on the off chance that anybody was doing delivery that night, which thank God they did, because we ended up ordering like 3 days worth of food just in case. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Well, I'm glad you made it through the 5 feet of snow and the plague.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Toronto got touched with nothing.
So let's get
Wow.
back. Let's wrap it back in here real quick.
Yes.
So, what kind of content are you creating this week and why?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm more so planning, but I'm gonna do my best to upkeep my YouTube channel. Yes, I am on YouTube now.
Yeah, darn
Um,
right you are. Plug it, man. Plug it.
yeah, so uh, it's been crazy, and you know what, Jim? Just to piggyback off of you sharing uh, a video, a client video about a story. Let's talk about how powerful a story is. Okay,
Mhm.
I put out my story as my first YouTube video, which was like I think 44 minutes in length, and I probably didn't even think I can talk for that long, to be honest with you. But uh 3 weeks later, I think it is now, I first of all I got just shy over 1,000 subscribers, and I'm literally like a few hundred hours away from the 4,000 hour mark. So just off of that
Yeah.
one video, I'm gonna officially be able to call myself a YouTuber in no time, because
That's fantastic, man.
yeah, I couldn't freaking believe it, and it was all off of one video.
Oh, I mean, you got to tell us about this video.
So the video is essentially it essentially is how to tell a story your audience will love.
Mhm.
And what I did, and this was the interesting way, because you can give points like, well, here to tell a story, point one, point two, point three, and just kind of go like that, right? And then I thought to myself, I go, well, if I just talk about my story, because I have spoken about my story many, many times before, I feel like it's probably only gonna be like 20 minutes in length, right?
Okay.
But I was told that my first video should be 45 minutes. And reason why I was told that was for viewer retention rate, right? If I make a 45-minute video, I'm lucky to have a 15 to 25-minute retention rate rather than make a 3-minute video with like a 10-second retention rate, right? So so I listened to who gave me the advice, and obviously it worked. But how
So
was
your
I
first
gonna
video was a very long video.
yeah. So I thought to myself, I go, okay, if I know that my story is probably no more than 20 minutes in length, how the hell do I get the other 15 minutes or 20 minutes? So I said, I'm going to educate how I'm getting myself from point A to point B and fill in those gaps with a little bit of like a tutorial.
I like that.
So
Oh, you got a shout out from Jay Lee as well. Said, Lefteris just recorded my YouTube story.
yes, yes, yes. And that's
Heck
going to be
yeah.
another 45-minute video, I believe, in and around there. So unfortunately, God wanted me to take the slow, fast route, as Jay likes to call it, by giving me this wonderful cold. So, so I haven't been able to edit that video or any other
Oh,
video.
you got the sales ninja cold?
What?
You got a sales ninja cold?
Uh, I don't know what kind of cold, but it hit me like 2 days after I left Jay's place.
Jay, super spreader.
Yeah, the slow and fast. He was like Lefty, you have to slow down.
So
But
awesome, man. One video, 1,000 subscribers. Now that is a hell of a lead magnet.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'm still if those hours come through, I can only imagine. Like I'm not even like I have literally like no numerical number in my head of what YouTube's going to pay me when that time comes. I have no idea. I honestly don't. I know I know what their standards are
Hmm.
in terms of how compensation works. But for me, I'm just so happy that I can get back to doing what I love, because I feel like the imposter syndrome for myself was trying to jump on bandwagons that obviously are important, but jump on things that weren't myself. And I fell in love with video to begin with because of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of sat back, and maybe it had to do a little bit of like you and Molly constantly talking about this long form content and whatnot, and it was just kind of like, do I do it again? Do I not do it again? Oh my god! But now I only really know how to like uh talk for such a short period of time. And
Mm.
and people, I'm gonna tell you this right now, like, if you're only doing short form content, like, I am used to speaking for a long period of time, but I will tell you right now, making that shift where I was so focused on wanting to heavily build my Instagram page, I almost felt like my attention span diminished. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I, I couldn't think of what to say for over 2 minutes. And if you keep going through this route, if you keep going down this path, believe me, you are actually doing your brains an injustice. So I flipped the script and I said, what got me to fall in love with video to begin with? Well, it was YouTube. How did I get to YouTube to begin with? Well, I started out as a photographer. I became a pretty damn good photographer within like a 6-month period. And then I wanted to give out all the knowledge that I knew. So I did it through YouTube. And then lo and behold, I fell in love with video, and then I just stopped doing photos. But that is how I decided to say, well, how can Lefty go back to his roots? Lefty's roots was always YouTube. Lefty's roots was always visual effects, short films, feature films, docu-series, commercials, promotional branding, all that stuff. And where was I putting all that? I was putting it on YouTube. And then I said to myself, well, if I make long enough videos on YouTube, I can still keep up with my 12 shorts a month by just cutting out what I want from those long form pieces of content. And I don't have to double or triple or quadruple the work.
I love that you optimized it that way. It's like what we were already talking about pretty heavily, and Molly was talking about it the last time we were on live, is that, multiplying your content, but doing it in a meaningful way. So you're creating content in the beginning that already is the intention of being chopped up. So
Right.
It's not that you're doing something as an afterthought. You're doing it as this was the intent all along, and it feels that way, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, no, it's just been it's been great. It's been cool. It's been fun. I can't wait to see that the channel grow. And
I want that lead magnet, man. That lead magnet is killer.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm actually not. Funny enough, I'm actually not doing YouTube for the leads. If they come, fantastic. My goal with YouTube is just to get my first silver play button.
You're on your way, my friend.
I have a long way to go, but yes, I'm on my way.
I love it.
Silver play button, 100,000 subs. That's what I need.
You're gonna do it, man. I believe in it.
Absolutely. So
Mr. Havis, what kind of content are you creating this week, man?
So
and why?
I'm hang on just a second.
Yep.
There we go. So I am creating content for ADA with Tony Caggiano.
Absolutely amazing Tony Caggiano, by the way. If you guys haven't checked him out, please do.
Simply amazing guy. So I'm creating ADA content in the for the purpose of bringing new clients on board. That not only we wind up building their sites and doing their funnels and doing their social media, but we introduce them to the real purpose behind the ADA software and why they must have it and why it is going to be the gold standard soon. And so that's what I'm building content for right now.
Fantastic. Robert J. Moore is saying, I just reached 40,000 on my YouTube subs. Congratulations, Robert. That's fantastic. Shout out to you, man. That is fantastic. Keep
I
rocking.
also forgot to mention that I'm also going to be filming for a living benefits insurance multimillionaire. I'm doing his story.
All right.
Yeah, I'm doing his story on Thursday. So that's pretty
well done. I like that.
Yeah, I was like, what do you do, man? He was like, well, I sell living benefits. I go, you mean like life insurance? He's like, no, living benefits. I go, what the hell is living benefits? And he tells me, he goes, it's benefits that you can actually use while you're alive. And I was like,
what an interesting thought.
Yeah, what? And like he's gotten like so many like his clients or who like buy into this stuff, like have used it for so many things. Like had a client with like a $50,000 medical bill. Boom, paid in full, done. Just because she like pays her monthly dues into this, like nothing, like it was like the craziest thing ever. And like he actually made his first $1 million 2 years into doing it.
Hey, we have the absolutely amazing Troy Aberley joining us here as well. What's going on, Troy? He is actually working with Amanda Holmes with Chet Holmes International. And he has had some absolutely incredible results with her boot camps. And now they have teamed up, joined forces. And it's pretty much like Voltron, from what I understand. You know, when they come together, it's the one big one now.
Nice.
So they are fantastic. And I got the extreme privilege to see them both in person and in action. And they're incredible. So if you guys haven't checked out their boot camps, do yourself a favor and do so, because it's going to be a tremendous help for you and your business. So shout out to Troy Aberley and, of course, his amazing son, Luke Aberley. And he actually has 2 sons. Both sons.
I was going to ask Rob's page there, 40,000 subs. What's the handle? I'd love to check it out.
Oh yeah, definitely plug your YouTube channel, Rob. Happy to post it up here for you if you want.
And mine's just simple, at Create with Lefty. So everything's the same across the board.
James, you got one you want to plug?
KingdomMediaWorks.com.
KingdomMediaWorks.com. Love it. Troy says, we all 3 are saying hi. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Aberley family in the house. So what content are we creating this week? So this week I'm creating some content for GoBox Studio. This week, I'm going to try my hand at a reel using Lefty's guidance that he gave me. He gave me a little guidance. And also, what's that?
I can't wait to see it when it's done.
It's too much pressure. Don't build up so much. Don't build it up so much.
Come on.
I'm going to keep my clothes on, so it's going to be way more views now. It's going to be a lot more views because I'll keep my clothes on. But so those are the piece of content I'm pumped to make this week. The purpose of content that I'm making this week, so the GoBox Studio, is to have more people join our affiliate program, which is awesome. It's a great deal as well. The GoBox Studio, I think next week we're going to probably show it off a little bit. I'll probably actually have my camera set up be with the GoBox Studio.
Nice.
So I'm excited for that. But that's where my head's at this week with content, is just getting more eyeballs on everything we're working on as a whole. So how do we do that? We create interest-based content that is based around problems, solutions, and interests. And that's mainly it. So obviously Lefty's creating content based around his amazing deal that he's got going.
Yes.
Absolutely incredible deal. So if you guys haven't heard about that, definitely check it out as well. If you guys are into the VSL world or looking for VSLs. And James is teamed up with James Caggiano, and they're doing some ADA stuff. So ADA compliance James, can you give a quick breakdown of what ADA compliance is for those in the back?
Absolutely. So for you, those of you in the cheap seats, when you pull up to Walmart or Target and there's parking spaces out front that allow folks that have a handicap or a disability to park up front, the same is required for you in your digital space, whether you have a PDF that's online somewhere, a funnel, or a full website with 1,000 to 400,000 pages. It doesn't matter. The Americans with Disability Act requires that your site be accessible to all folks, both disabled or non-disabled. And our software product is a plug and play few lines of code that we'll give you within 24 hours of purchasing the product with the instructions of how to install it. If you need us to install it, we're happy to do that as well. And then you will be compliant. And the second part, most importantly, is this. You will be protecting yourself like you buy insurance to protect your house or your life. You'll be protecting your website and your potential business, whether you're a small mom and pop shop that may get sued for $50,000 or $100,000 and that can bankrupt your business, or you're Beyonce who gets sued for $5 million because your website is non-ADA compliant. They don't care. They'll go after big or small. Marcus Lemonis, the guy that's famous for The Prophet, is involved in a $50 million lawsuit right now over his Auto Nation websites. There's 50 of them, and he's being sued for each one of them over $1 million for each.
Well, aside from that, even like how many people do you think are being left out of the discussion?
And that's my next point. 65 million people are not having access to those sites, and that accounts for $650 billion in potential revenue.
Those are active buyers that just can't buy from you.
That's active buyers that cannot buy from you.
And why does that happen?
Because they're not ADA compliant. Maybe they have macular degeneration. Maybe they have ADHD. They have dyslexia. They may be deaf, and they need access to your site. And you can easily go to our site at Kingdom Media Works and take a look at the little blue man on the left-hand side of the website, and it'll show you how the site actually interacts for those different disabilities. And then also on our page, you can see ADA. You click on it, and it'll give you a full description.
Awesome.
It's a big deal.
Cool.
Absolutely.
I know about that. That's really cool.
And Tony Caggiano as a whole is absolutely just a fantastic individual. Like he's been a friend of the show forever.
Yep.
And it's just one of the most generous, wonderful people that you'll ever meet.
As a side note, if you don't live in the United States, you're covered under the WCAG. It's a regulation that was put in place by the United Nations for all the English-speaking countries that requires the same software.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So what are we doing? What is coming up with you guys? So give us a little preview of what do you guys got in the tank for big Christmas season? You guys dropping any bombs?
I might be working on a new short film.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a series. I don't know if it's gonna be a series that I'm gonna do, but I just feel like I got to do something for myself. It has to be bigger, badder. That I, exactly what I preach, right? Bigger, badder videos, right? So. That is what I'm going to be working on. I don't know how big of a team I'm going to need. In terms of like an offer or anything, I don't know. I don't know yet. That's something that I haven't decided. I might come up with a create your own offer, right? We'll see.
I mean, 'tis the season, right? So it's a matter of are you going to either do something or you're just going to chill back, let the rest of the season kind of unfold as it may, keep hard sales to the end of the quarter, or, you throw out something kind of wily, do the Hail Mary, right?
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But so far, there's a short film in the works. So far, I've actually, Jim, you're not going to believe it, man, but I've almost kind of given up on my Instagram account.
The Lefty is saying this right now?
Almost.
Mr. Instagram?
Yeah, right? Almost.
Wow. All right.
We could get into it tonight. We can get into it another night. I mean,
It'll probably be another night. I want to have Molly weigh in on that one. I want to have Molly on that one. So I would love to hear her opinion on that.
all right. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm moving forward with new things that make me happy, things that don't stress me out, don't do any of that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna use the next 4 weeks for, maybe even up to 8 weeks, but we'll see. Tell us why and how horrible Facebook and IG is overall. Actually, I have no problem with Facebook. Facebook's fantastic. I think there's, in a nutshell, like Jim said, we're going to talk about it in another episode, but in a nutshell, the volatility of Instagram is absolutely killing me. It is causing me more mental health stress than anything has ever caused me before in my life. And I'm not one that actually cares that much about like what I'm coming out with and what I'm doing and why I'm producing. I come from an audiovisual background world where our motto was once a show is packed up, it's on to the next. So that's kind of like, I've taken that into my video work production. So I run a very, very stress-free ship. And Instagram has just made me a very stressful individual, and I don't like it whatsoever.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that. I mean, to be honest with you, I see the trend is definitely like all roads lead to YouTube.
Absolutely.
And it's been that way for the last 3 years.
I think it's been like that ever since YouTube became YouTube.
Well, granted, obviously granted. But like what of recent, right? In the last 4 or 5 years,
sure,
they saw everything Twitch was doing and they were like, okay, mine. And because Twitch was very tight-knit community, they had their own like language they speak together. It's like no one links out, anything like that. Like once you're in and you can't leave. All roads lead to YouTube. Yeah, exactly, Bill. So then YouTube was like, well, we don't mind if you go out to links because we also own Google.
Yeah.
So let's just take all the good things from Twitch and then leave all that other crap aside. Cool. And then all the gamers exodus moved over to YouTube at one time. I remember that. I remember people with huge Twitch followings all of a sudden were like, catch me on YouTube. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And that happened. And I was like, oh, wow, YouTube's making big moves. And then YouTube Stories was a big move. Trying to go toe-to-toe. Huh?
Is that still there?
Or what is it called? The YouTube, the shorts.
Shorts. The
shorts are huge.
YouTube Shorts was a big move. Going toe-to-toe with TikTok, that's a big move.
Oh, yeah, I heard.
And allowing those watermarks to go through and still giving you a little bit of hit on the algorithm because they wanted you to not get completely discouraged, but they did want to discourage that watermark being on there.
But there's also new information out for those of you that think that you're just going to start a YouTube channel with shorts and not do anything else. In order to be monetized on YouTube just with shorts, from my understanding, I could be wrong because I feel like there has to be a mix of all three with the subscribers and the watch time hours. But just for shorts alone, you need combined 10 million views on your YouTube shorts to even be considered for monetization, or just get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Now you're thinking to yourself, well, Lefty, 4,000 hours, who the hell is going to watch me for 4,000 hours? That sounds like a long time. Well, Mr. Prospect, let me tell you, if you just created
Todd,
if you just created one 1 hour video and shared it with 400 people and all 400 people watched that full 1 hour, you made your 4,000 hours of watch time.
Well said.
Now, the subscribers is a different story because here's a difference. I can follow you on Instagram because it's Instagram. Who cares? I'm going to follow you. I'm probably never going to see you again. But YouTube is like watching your favorite television series.
Yeah.
And the moment, and you might give the pilot a chance, you might give episode 2 a chance, but if after episode 2 or even after that pilot, somebody decides to say, this isn't for me, you are not getting that subscriber. So you either got to give them all balls to the wall in terms of information and tutorials and education, or you got to give them balls to the wall in entertainment.
Wait, Molly's out for tonight, and we're all balls against the wall and everything. All right.
Well, hey, the Canadian had to come out with the potty mouth.
So do you know where that balls to the wall came from?
No.
So here's the story behind it. So in World War II, they were flying piston aircraft. The 3 levers, one's for the fuel, one's for the prop, and one's for the power.
Okay.
And so on each one of them, there's a little button that you push in to turn the control. Each one of them has a ball as the handle on them. So when they would go full power, it'd go balls to the wall, and that's where balls to the wall came from.
Huh.
That's really cool.
So it's an aviation term, actually.
That's so cool.
The more you know.
The less you worry.
That was actually really cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was really cool. I got a little lesson out of that. I like that.
So yeah, if you next time you watch a World War II movie that has a lot of aviation and you see them with a plane and they're flying it off of a carrier or off of the ground somewhere, and you see them inside the cockpit, you'll see 1 or 2 or 3 balls, and they'll go balls to the wall. That's where that's from.
All right. That's a lot better than I thought it was.
So much better than what people think that it is.
It's so much
What do you
better.
think? Some
Here,
guy putting
you
his
want to hear
crotch
another?
against
Hey,
his
you want to
wall?
hear another one?
So much better.
You want to hear another one?
Yeah.
Okay. More than one way to skin a cat. You ever heard of that?
Oh, this is going to be
Yes.
dark.
This is great. So in China, fishing along the rivers, each village, right? The men would go out during the day and fish for catfish, prominent fish that they would bring. They bring it back to the shoreline. The women would take it. And in each one of the villages, they would skin the catfish different ways. And that's where it comes from. There's more than one way to skin a cat.
So it wasn't even a cat. It was a catfish.
As catfish. And that's from an old friend of mine who's grew up in mainland China. And that's where it came from. He shared that with me. Because I said it one time in front of him. He goes, you know what that really means? And he like jumped in my socks about it. And he's like, so he spent 30 minutes explaining it like in the greatest detail about how there's all kind of different ways to skin a catfish. And I always thought pliers were the best.
That's really cool.
Well, all right. So you got a launch coming up there, James?
So
you got something coming up for the holiday season here?
I do. So I just finished a new 85-page lead magnet for side hustles. And so it's inside of my military to marketer deal. But I am going back and rewriting my book called Faith to Forgive. And inside of it, it's not just about, understanding the power of forgiveness and what that does in your life, but it's also I go into deep detail about how in business, we sometimes get frustrated with others that maybe we're working with or we've partnered with, or maybe even as an employer to employee relationship or vice versa, we get upset. And the only way to get past that is to honestly, truly forgive that person or that entity. And I share stories of that and the breakthrough that not only I've had, but others have had that I know firsthand. But I share true, like not only mental and heart breakthrough, but financial breakthrough, because figured out how to forgive somebody that was holding you back mentally. And once you got rid of that and cleaned your mind up with that forgiveness, your business got turned on. And so that's going to be coming out probably in the middle of January. It'll be a full on book, and I'm going to do the free book, free plus shipping type deal, and it's going to lead into a challenge probably in February that I'll do a 5-day Faith to Forgive challenge.
Nice.
I love that. So is there anywhere that someone can go right now to pre-sign up for that, or anywhere that they can go if they're interested? Or
I don't think it's up yet. I was working on it. Let me look real quick and I can tell you, but I don't think I have it up yet. I'll have it up in the next 2 weeks. I just haven't had a chance to get to it yet, but it'll be faithtoforgive.com most likely.
okay, awesome.
So, but once I have it up, I'll let you know, and you can share it at that point in time.
Fantastic.
Thanks so much for letting me
gentlemen,
share that.
Thank you guys so much for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. We're coming into the holiday season. It's getting a little closer. People get a little more busy. People are putting out more offers. People are trying to hang out with family. So just know that I appreciate you spending this time with me. And for those of you guys out there watching, same to you. I appreciate you guys spending this time. You could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here, and we really, really appreciate that. So we will see you guys on the next Friday Night Live. And hopefully we'll have back the absolutely incredible Molly.
Where is
I believe she's not feeling well tonight.
Oh,
it's going around. It's going around. It'll get you.
It hit everybody. And I'm watching all my favorite YouTubers, and they're all like, I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick. That's how they're all opening all their YouTube videos.
It's everybody. But it's because what do you expect? We were locked up for years. We come out. Even the little tiniest sniffle flu is going to be like, oh man.
I
it's
get
just
it.
the way it goes,
Yeah, so, yeah, I get it. Fair
enough.
enough.
I'm taking my lumps. That's the way it goes.
That's it. That's it. We got it. It's gone. Let's for those of you that have not gone sick yet, try and stay as healthy as possible. For those of you that have, you are going to get over it. As you could tell, I could barely speak at the beginning of the week, and I'm here on Friday Night Live tonight.
Yeah, buddy, you are.
Not coughing
Champagne.
up a lung. So,
I don't know how you kept it in that long. That's awesome.
Good job. Dude, I had to mute my mic twice, but I mean, at the end of the day, I am getting a lot better. And you know what? I think it was my affirmation, okay? I literally, every single day since Monday, said, I'm going to be better by the end of the week.
Awesome.
I like that.
And I kept saying that to myself every single day. I'm going to be better by the end of the week.
Well, I am so thankful that you were able to join us here tonight. Obviously, give all of our love to the wonderful wife, who is incredible. You want to give her a shout out? Give her a quick shout out. You want to give her a little shout out?
Yes. We don't have a nickname for her yet, but but we have to. We're gonna have to think of something because I'm Lefty. Who is she, right? But my awesome wife, Julieta. What did you say?
Righty.
Lefty and righty. No, but yeah, my awesome wife, Julieta. This girl is a superstar. She is a fantastic closer. She is just the backbone to my business, and she is officially on my team. In the last 10 years, she has closed over like $10 million in sales, and I am just super happy to have her in my back pocket because we're going to really see what 2023 does.
I love that. All right.
And she has also told me that she is potentially going to freelance her services too.
Oh, all
so
right.
If anybody needs a helping hand.
Well, we're going to bring her on the next one then, and she can tell us all about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, she'll be there.
All right. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next Friday Night Live, where we talk about all things attention for your mission, message, and your movement in a noisy marketplace. We will see you on the next one.